Welcome to Health Matters with Dr. Nelson Bulmash, sponsored by the UI Radio Network at uiradionetwork.org. Catch us on Facebook and Instagram at United Intentions and Twitter at Higher Intention. Look for us on 99.1 FM, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Stitcher, Blog Talk Radio, and many more. Over the next hour, we'll introduce you to some fascinating people and engaging discussions that may provide you with answers to assist in revolutionizing your own personal health. And now, here's Dr. Nelson.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Nelson Bulmash, the host of Health Matters on the UI Media Network. I have another very exciting show for you today. I have two young men who are both very talented and inspired. And I brought them onto my show because they have done already at 16 and 17 years of age more than most people do in a lifetime. And you might think I'm kidding or exaggerating. I'm not. They're models, they're musicians, they're actors. They have their own businesses. Need I say more? You'll get it. We're here to uplift and inspire you today. So first, before we get started with the actual interview, I have some announcements to make. And my friends, Christian on my right, and Dekori on my left.
What's up?
They're going to help me thank all of you out there. So for those of you right here in our hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, listening in on Talk 10 FM and WDJY FM 99.1, know how much we appreciate you. Gentlemen, shout out to our local folks.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out.
Big shout out. Pick up high school.
There you go. Anybody specifically here in Atlanta you guys want to say hi to?
I want to say hey to my mama. She right here.
Yeah.
But I still
Hey,
wanna
Butter.
say hey.
Butter be
Yes,
rocker.
rocker.
Mama's in the house.
Mr. Terrence Hutchinson.
And Terrence. There you go. Where's Terrence? There he is. Super. What about
hey
you?
to my dad, he's out there working right now.
Fantastic. Fantastic. All right, guys, we're going to go north. We're going to thank all of our friends, fans, and followers who are catching the show in Ohio and Kentucky on WTTA 101.2 FM. Hey, folks. Great to be with you. Christian?
Hey, that's where most of our family is. So.
I like it. I got family up there, too. You here? Dekori,
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yeah, that's where most of our family
How y'all
are.
doing?
We're going to visit them later, too.
I like it. What, you going to go on a vacation and heading up there? Fantastic. All right. And listen, hey, for the rest of you who are catching us on all the major social media platforms all over the known and unknown universe, whether you be on, that's right, Christian, I think big, just like you.
Nice.
Hey, for all of those listening to us on Spreaker, Blog Talk, iHeartRadio, Facebook Live, YouTube, and many others, know how much we love and appreciate you. Our numbers go up. That means you're coming back. That means you're sharing the show. We appreciate you folks. Thank you.
Thank you.
And guys, big surprise. You probably didn't know this, but we are in 90 countries around the world on Binge TV. So this isn't just a radio show. It's not just a podcast. You guys are on TV yet again.
Hey.
Yes. Let's go. My time has come.
See, we're helping them become even bigger superstars. And listen, it's all good because these are two very exciting, dynamic young men who are, I got to find their secret myself. I had to have them on my show today to find out how they are so amazing. Christian at 16, Dekori at 17. So stay tuned, folks. I've got some announcements to make, and then we're going to get started for real, okay? All right. So listen, if you have any questions, please feel free to call us at 678-495-4345. Again, that's 678-495-4345. If you want to send us comments or questions on Facebook, you know how to do it. Log on to Facebook. Look me up at United Intention. There I'll be. I'll be the adult among the two handsome gentlemen side by side. Although they're probably more steamed already than me.
One handsomer than the other.
Now, wait a minute. We're going to leave that up to you, the audience, to decide. We'll have no fighting right here on the show, guys. Okay. Listen, if you folks want to connect with us online, please do so. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to get a hold of the folks here at United Intentions, including me, look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as United Intentions. You want to catch us on Twitter? Look us up at Higher Intention. And don't forget, this Thursday, I misread, at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, check us out for Whole Healing with Dr. Amy Dairies. She'll be talking with writer and editor Devin Lentz. They'll be discussing the threats of mosquitoes. There's some bad stuff that's coming to town, so to speak, by these nasty critters. So stay tuned. Her shows are always very, very, very interesting. And don't forget, you now can buy our Conscious Journal. Plan your daily intention with our Seeds of Intention Daily Conscious Planner. All you have to do is visit www.unitedintentions.org to learn more. And lastly, folks, and I hope you gentlemen can be there too. I'm speaking now to all of you listening and to my producer and engineer. By the way, I want to give a shout out in a second, my engineer. Can people under 18 come to this event, this big event that I'm going to mention?
Yes.
Yeah, they sure can.
Then I'm going to formally give you guys an invitation. We got a big deal, Christian Dekori, coming up here. Look, you guys mark this date on your calendar, and make sure your mom and Terrence Hutchinson know about this. We're having they probably already know about it. Yeah, they're nodding their heads. Listen, folks, we got a really big event. We're launching Awaken Atlanta. So we're having a big party at the Gate City Brewing Company in Roswell, Georgia. It's our celebration party. Come join us. We have people flying in from all over the country and the world. You'll be able to meet all of us. I'll be there. I'm hoping that my friends here to my right and left, Christian, Dekori, I'm hoping you guys will be there. I know your mom will be there. Terrence, you'll be there, sir. I love it. I'm getting yeses all around. It'll be an amazing event. It'll be the launch of our Conscious Media event. It'll also be an amazing event for all of you to come meet people who are all about improving the world, one conscious intention at a time. Okay, guys, are we ready?
We sure
We're
are.
ready?
Yeah.
These poor guys were busting it here. They got caught in super heavy Atlanta traffic, and I know how crazy that is. And we came right down to the wire, but they crossed the line in time. They're here with me now. We're going to get started. Christian, I want to introduce you here. Christian is 16 years old. His brother, Dekori Robinson, is 17. They're both models and actors. They both received the Young Boss Awards, appeared on the front of Cam Q magazine. Corey won the Atlanta's Hottest Male Model. Christian won Atlanta's Hottest Musician. There you have it. At Atlanta's Hottest Awards. I'm among a lot of hotness, evidently. All right. They are, by the way, CEOs and founders of their new magazine, Defiant Ones Teen Magazine. And
Yes,
guys, we're going to talk a lot about this today, but aren't you launching this July 15th?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Right there, guys. Boom, boom.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming, and we're going to spend a lot of time talking about that. That's a hot topic on my agenda today, guys. All right, so Christian is also. Now I want you to pronounce your name. What's your celebrity name?
Kinda Fi. Kinda
Kinda Fi.
Fye.
I love it. And the Fye, FYE.
Yes, that's my clothing line. Find your element.
That's what I thought. Thank you, Christian. I like it. All right, I do pay attention. All right, Christian Kandafai is also an R&B and rapper, working on his debut album. Do we have a title?
Not yet.
No, that's okay.
Working on it though.
That's okay. Any idea when you're going to launch? Soon.
Soon.
Okay, like sometime maybe this year?
Most likely.
So you're going to have your first album out at 16.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm already feeling humbled. And I'm what am I here? 9 minutes into my interview, and I'm already feeling humbled here between these two gentlemen. All right. And you've done so many, both of you have done so many amazing things here. You hosted Woodruff Park Music Series. Tell me about that.
Sir, so my mom was holding Miss Butterby Rocker. She was holding a event downtown with a bunch of people who were holding like old school, new school generations music, and it was just awesome. They had a drumline that came out, a bunch of super cool celebrities came. It was very cool.
Wow.
So I was very humbled to host that.
I love it. And you were the host. Fantastic. And let's talk about, you have another business here. I know you're getting the magazine started, but you're also the CEO of, do I say it just by the letters, FYE?
It's pronounced Fi Apparel.
Fi Apparel. My apologies. Fi Apparel. And that stands for Find Your Element.
Find your element. Find yourself.
So you two are thinking men for sure. I like that.
Sure.
I like that. Very, very impressive. And you won the Compassion Award for standing up for other kids who were in places of weakness and working harder than most, and you were selected by all the teachers of your school.
All the teachers. Sure was.
Very impressive. You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
And let's talk quickly here. So you were in 2 music videos, Wildfire and Making History. Love it. Was that fun?
Super fun.
You can do a lot more of that?
Oh, I sure am.
Okay, I like it. And let's talk about the TV show taping called Emerging Teens. What do you want to say about that?
That was a thing I did back in 2016. This TV company called me to do a drum fill for basically the opening of their TV show. Like the things you hear when TV shows come on, the tune, that was me on drums.
Perfect. And I am understanding correctly, we're getting ready, Dekori, to talk about your legendary status as well, but you are also a musician.
Yeah, I was at one point, yeah, when I was younger.
Okay, so you're not playing anymore?
No.
I heard you were a bassist, a guitarist, and you played the saxophone.
Yes, I played all three.
Wow, are you sure you want to give that up? That sounds very cool.
I just decided, music wasn't for me.
I got it. Okay, I decided the same thing, Dekori, don't worry. My mother used to have me playing piano for hours and hours and hours, and I thought, yeah, no, I need to be out fishing or working out.
Same
So,
for me.
yeah, I understand that. All right. And we'll talk later about how everybody can reach you guys, okay? We'll mention that at the end. I'm going to say, guys, how can they reach out to you? All right, Dekori, let's talk about you here. We can go on and on just about the tremendous accolades, the achievements of these gentlemen. Dekori can be currently seen on Netflix and you're still making money off of your TV show appearance. You've been acting since age 7, and you were on Drop Dead Diva, and you've done many national commercials.
Yeah. My acting, I've always been acting since I was young. My mom started me on that, and
well, we're gonna go into all of this. I need to find out your secrets because you guys are so accomplished at such a young age. I'm so inspired already. All right, and so you're a senior this year. You're going into your senior year.
Yep, senior season.
Yeah, fantastic. And I understand that you're quite a respected football player and track man.
Mm-hmm.
What do you play? Which positions in football?
I play football, and in track, I run 200 and 400.
Ooh, okay. I remember those days.
I actually just came from practice earlier.
Nice. Very, very nice. And I understand you are an artist.
Mm-hmm.
And
I got some skills in drawing.
Okay. And I hear you want to be an architect.
I want to be an engineer. Yeah.
You want to be an engineer, but you like architecture.
Yeah.
So it's like a point of interest.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Very, very good. So what do you do, Dekori, for your hobbies? What do you have time for hobbies?
Not really.
Not really.
When I'm not playing football or in sports, I like to work out and get my body right.
Okay. Sounds like a little Terrence Hutchinson intervening in there. Mr. Handsome over there looking all buff in the corner.
I'm trying to get into that.
You are too, Christian?
Slacking a little bit.
Well.
Hey, but I'm doing my thing with the whole drumming, so I'm getting that cardio.
Yes, you are. Yeah, what a workout. I also did that, by the way. My percussion instructor told my parents, please, I beg you.
Oh, wow.
The man has no rhythm. Please, I beg you. do not
funny.
pay for any more lessons.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't hold it against me, Christian, please. All right.
Funny.
So, guys, I do want to talk a lot about your magazine, but how in the world, and Christian, I'm just going to go from my right to my left.
Mm-hmm.
How at 16 years of age have you gotten so inspired that you are a force of nature already? I mean, you've done more than a whole lot of adults I know by the age of 16. What's up with that?
Okay, so I'm going to say it started with my mama. My mama is extraordinary. Miss Butterby Rocka is a singer, songwriter, activist, playwright. She does a lot of things. So growing up, watching her do her shows and go from meeting to meeting, meeting new people that I always never thought I could dream it was like she pretty much put in me that drive to do great things, to make success happen, to make my own way.
You know, it's funny. I'm going to share a really silly, funny story with you, both of you gentlemen. So my wife was taking my 2 kids at that time up to a family reunion, and my son broke out the Guinness World Book of Records, and he said, "Wow, they have a picture of the strongest man in the world."
Really?
Yeah. And my daughter didn't miss a wink. She said, "Really? They have a picture of Daddy in that book?" and of course my point is that when they saw me work out and they saw me lift very, very heavy weight at an early age, and so it shapes the way you think and what you do.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I can't believe this. We're at our first commercial break here in a second, guys. I'm Dr. Nelson Bulmash. You're listening to Health Matters. I have to my right Christian Robinson and Dekori Robinson to my left. Stay tuned, guys. We have an amazing interview in store.
With all of life's stressors, it can be challenging to stay balanced and healthy. Hemp-derived cannabinoid, or CBD supplements such as plus CBD oil are becoming well recognized as a key supplement to optimize wellness. By working directly with our own internal system that maintains homeostasis, the endocannabinoid system, CBD, can help restore the body's natural rhythm when we need it the most. Learn more about Plus CBD oil and how to balance the system that balances you from www.pluscbdoil.com. That's www.pluscbdoil.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Nelson Bulmash. You are listening to another edition of Health Matters. I have to my right Christian Robinson.
Hey.
And to my left, Dekori Robinson.
What's going on?
We're talking about really, and I'm not trying to give you guys a big head, but you guys really are outstanding. I mean, you're really good guys, and you're up to a lot in the world, and I really respect and appreciate that. That's, there's so many things that you could complain about in the world, and you guys, you see right through it, and you rise to the occasion, and you do extraordinary things. That's remarkable to me. Dekori, I want to turn to you, my friend, and I want to find out what inspired you. How did you become so successful? What were some of the key things that motivated you?
Like Christian said, maybe my mom. She gave me a lot of the push that I needed.
Yeah,
to get out there.
You have an amazing mom, that's for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely.
So, guys, I know how amazing your mom is. She's a friend of mine. I love her dearly, and she's the sky's the limit for her. Let's talk about some of your other mentors. Anybody else? I know, and Terrence Hutchinson, who's also amazing. He's here in the house. I know he is too. Tell me about how some of I understand you have an amazing grandmother as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full of fire, very educated, very
Back
bright.
in college again.
So talk to me. See, guys, here's what I want to do. I want to have a conversation with you that really ignites the fire, ignites the passion of a lot of the young people who are listening, and even draws the attention of some of the folks, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, to say, hey, if these two young gentlemen can be so remarkably successful at this age, maybe there's hope for me. Maybe I can do something. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you listen to me, you know what I always say, don't just hear the conversation, listen to the conversation. Listen to what's being said so you can evaluate the quality of your own life and see where there might be room for improvement in any other areas that you might be weak. And don't forget, as my brother, my amazing brother, he'll kill me for saying this, but probably the most brilliant person I ever met in my life, said to me when I was 15 and he was 17, you don't have to be the smartest guy or gal in the room. Just make sure you surround yourself with the smartest people you know in the areas that you're weak, so you, my friends, are no longer weak. All right, let's get back to this. So talk about some of the other, Christian, some of the other influencing agents that really helped your life, because your life has taken off already. I mean, you're just a really accomplished young man. I get that people really like you. You're a very humble man, and you're headed for big things.
Yes, thank you.
So yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, am I allowed to say my acting agency?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I'm gonna say Miss Barbara Garby of East Coast Talent. She definitely helped me. She put me on with a lot of the producers that got me the belt commercials and other TV shows I did. And then, actually, I do look up to my brother. He's like my other half, my other opposite half.
Yeah.
We're like fire and ice. So
he is very cool. I get it already.
Oh my goodness.
He didn't hear that. That's between you and me, Christian. He didn't hear that.
I
He's
heard
just
the
chilling.
pun. Very cool.
He's just chilling.
Oh my gosh, she's still going. So I look up to them most definitely.
Yeah, you pick some good folks. Hey, Corey, talk to me. What are some of the and not just even people? Are there books maybe that you've read? Are there movies you've seen that help to really inspire you to reshape your thinking and to give you a drive that might be greater than you would otherwise know?
Well, I've seen a few movies that definitely gave me that drive and stuff in football.
Right.
Like I've seen this one about, I forgot what it's called, but the plane crashes and their whole team dies.
Oh,
and they gotta,
the story about the Marshall University.
Yeah.
Marshall University.
Yeah.
Yes, very inspiring. You bet.
It was
Actually,
a good inspiration.
I got two people that I definitely have to mention because I looked up to them big time. Chris Brown and Nick Cannon. oh my goodness, they're self-made entrepreneurs. They're doing their thing. Chris Brown started when he was my age. He blew up, and I really have a lot of respect for him. Nick Cannon, he did his thing. He's a drummer like me, so I gotta I gotta shout him out. And then of course he created his own businesses, the Wild and Out, the whole uh, incredible thing he does.
Right. Yeah.
Very cool. So I have to look up to that.
Perfect.
Live up to that legacy.
Perfect. I love it. And you'll have your own legacy, my friend.
I sure will.
You sure will. Dekori, anything else you wanted to say?
I would say like a few rappers nowadays. I know sometimes they just be mumble rapping, but their stories, how they came up, and it's like deep.
I get it. Guys, let's move on in this interview process. And I want to talk about when you guys, I know you have your own apparel business. Is it the same, Dekori, or do you have a separate business?
No, I'm about to come out with mine.
Okay? So yours is already established, and you're getting ready to open yours. Wow.
Yeah.
So you're doing two businesses at one time.
Yeah.
You're not an overachiever, are you, Dekori? All right, Christian, tell me about yours, and then we'll come back to your brother.
All right. So mine is FY Apparel, FYE, Find Your Element. And it basically stands for finding yourself. See, I'm not supposed to say this, but the secret really is you are your element. When you find your element, that's like pushing past what society says, you are or what you can't be, and focusing on yourself. Because when you find yourself, you find the people that you're supposed to surround yourself with to like succeed. So when you find yourself, you find your goals, you find your dreams, you find everything you need in life to just go farther. So I encourage people, and I wear my apparel to have other people encourage people to find their element, find their self.
Look at this right here. Now I got to say you're looking cool too.
Thank you.
Awesome. Dekori, talk to me. So where are you in the process of are you developing? Are you kind of getting your ideas of what you want it to look like?
I have a logo and everything. I'm just looking for a place to like
lay it, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lay it out.
All right.
And I gotta start shipping it in and getting the beginning shirts.
Okay.
Got it out.
So yours will be more cool shirts?
Yeah. It'll be like it's kind of like what he has, except like more variety and stuff.
All right. I have to ask this. I can see it on his face. He knows exactly where I'm going. So do you guys ever sit down and say, let's talk about this apparel thing?
See, we have.
Right.
See, I'm more the creative person, so I think I'd come up with like the designs or the colorways, the logos, and he'd be like more over the business management.
Yeah, I got it. The implementer.
We've talked about it.
But then again, at the same time, I like to draw. I design stuff too.
Sure.
So
you're both creative in different ways.
Yeah, we work together.
Yeah, I love it. You guys should come up with your own magazine.
That's a good idea. I think I might do that.
All right. Very, very, very good. So where do you see yourself heading in the next years?
Oh, yes.
I mean, this is for both of you. I'm really curious because you've done so much already.
Mm-hmm.
I know you got the magazine. I promise you guys we're going to talk a lot about it. But like where do you, we'll start here, but where do you guys both see yourself in maybe the next 5-10 years?
Oh, yes. Okay. So I see myself on all type of big screens. I know I really look up to it. I met a lot of people who are on TV who like get to travel the world. So I'm definitely going to be up there. And a lot of my friends are like performing on huge stages with huge people. So in a couple years, I'm most definitely going to be at that level or higher. So I want to have albums all dropped, social media blown up, on different stages, all on TV. I want the world. That's what I want.
Not too much here.
Reach for the stars.
Reach for the stars. I like it. Dekori, talk to me. Where do you see yourself? And listen, guys. Of course, you have the freedom to change. But right now, Dekori, where do you see yourself heading in the next 5 or 10 years? What's it look like?
In the next 5 or 6 years, I see myself in college, working out, maybe playing on the football team.
Okay.
But mainly going towards engineering, getting education for engineering, and in the future having a job where I can do what I love, like to build stuff and design it and stuff. So I see myself mainly focusing on that in the next coming years. Still keeping being on a few more movies,
right,
and more commercials, and keeping modeling, but mainly focusing on that education and engineering so I can set myself up for the future.
Dekori, I love what you just said. I received a call 2 years ago from my son who just is getting ready to start his 4th year of medical school.
Very cool.
And thank you guys. And he said to me, Dad, I need to talk to you. And I said, son, you okay? He said, no, I'm fine, Dad. He said, I can't just be a student. And I said to him, son, does that mean you're dropping out of medical school? And he said, oh, no. I'm sorry, Dad. I didn't mean to alarm you. What I mean is that I'm not designed to just be somebody who studies 12, 16 hours a day.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a firefighter, man. And he's a mighty man. He's a very powerful man. He's very, very bright and courageous. And so he went back into his firefighting work while he was attending medical school. And he ended up becoming the youngest fire chief in the history of the state of Tennessee.
Wow.
And his stories are pretty remarkable.
That's really cool.
Yeah, thank you, Christian. And it was really fun because when I went up to his what's called his blue coat ceremony, so when you complete your 2nd year, you're given what's called a blue coat. And everybody knows that this blue coat means that you're a 2nd year going into 3rd year medical student, so you can work in places like hospitals, right?
Yeah.
And so I bring this to your attention because I love that you said you're going to focus on being an engineer, but you're still going to model and you're still going to do other things. I love that, Dekori. That's really perfect because it means you're diverse. It meaning you have a diverse palette, and it means that you're balanced, you know? So good for you, guys. Very, very good. All right. I'm wondering if we should wait till after our next break. I'm afraid this is going to bust up here when I bring up the conversation of the magazine, but we only have about two more minutes. So we'll get it started, guys. So let's jump into that. Are you okay with that, or do you want to talk about anything else before we go into the magazine?
We can start.
Okay, let's do it. So the first question I have is, and I'll tell you why I'm curious, because there are 2 movies. One of my favorite movies was with Tony Curtis and Sidney Poitier called The Defiant Ones. It came out in 1958, so you know where I'm going here.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, guys, where did you come up with the name of your magazine?
Okay. So, the term defiant itself means to be like a rebel, right?
Right.
It means to not follow orders. So that's not all too positive. Me and Corey see the world in like a way where you go further, you see things more positively. So we took the word defiant and we changed the meaning. Defiant to us means to be bold or stand out, stand different from what society says,
right?
or do something somebody says you can't do. It means to be defiant.
Yeah, to be an outlier.
An outlier.
An outlier. Word. Perfect. Yeah. I love it. Very, very good.
And then to me, it means, a lot of people say that you can't do stuff when you're young. Yes. Like how you just said.
Yes.
Some people, we've done more than some people have their whole life.
Right.
It means to defy their expectations.
Ooh, Dekori. I love that. Yeah. You guys, fabulous.
Thank
awesome.
you.
You're very, very, very welcome, guys. I love it. I had to ask that because, as I recall, there is also a movie that came out called The Defiant Ones, and I think it was 2017, the story about Dr. Dre and his partnership with Jimmy, what was his name? I actually wrote it down in case I forgot. And yeah, here it is. Partner between Jimmy, I think it's Levine, and Dr. Dre. So I didn't know if there was an influence there for you guys. No. You guys are just outliers. And
yes, outliers. And outliers are okay. You don't have to be standard. You can stand out.
You know what? I happen to be an outlier myself. I think being an outlier is very, very, very cool.
Yes.
You get to see the world in a way that other people who are not willing to stand back and say, I see this differently, and I'm going to create accordingly.
Yes.
All right. Oh, here we are, guys. We're already halfway into the show. Can you believe this? All right. Folks, we'll be right back. I am Dr. Nelson Bulmash. I have Christian Robinson and Dekori Robinson here. And we're now going to talk about their new magazine that will be launched on July 15th called The Defiant Ones.
Download the UI Media Smart app at uimediaapp.com to watch and listen to all your favorite shows anytime from anywhere in the world. Shows that enrich, entertain, educate, and feeds the conscious cells throughout your body. We bring you never heard before topics in health, inspiration, music, psychics, numerology, current affairs, controversies, and much, much more. So what are you waiting for? Visit www.uimediaapp.com and start raising your frequency now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. We're back. Hey, I want to remind everybody that this show is brought to you by Plus CBD Oil. Discover the benefits of Plus CBD Oil, America's #1 choice for CBD products. Find out more at pluscbdoil.com. That's pluscbdoil.com. All right, guys, so we talked about you being outliers, you not being sort of rebellious for the sake of being rebellious,
Yes.
but being outliers. We're taking it very positively. Referring to the title of your new magazine that'll be released here July 15th called
The Defiant Ones Teen Magazine.
I love it, guys.
Yes.
And so you're really looking at exploring life, I'm guessing primarily as a teen.
And young adult.
And young adult. Thank you.
too.
Thank you, Dekori. So what does the magazine aspire to do? How do you hope it lands in the teen and young adult world? Who wants to go first?
You can go first, Corey.
Well, I hope that it inspires younger people to start achieving stuff.
Okay.
Because you don't have to wait till you're an adult to start achieving stuff. Like I said before,
Beautiful.
you don't have to wait, and that's mainly what it should do. And it's to highlight things that most like adults don't even see because as a kid they don't concern themselves with it. But just highlight achievements that younger people, teens and young adults have achieved already.
You know, it's interesting, Corey, because I am much older than I ever thought I would be. And not that I'm old, guys, but much older than you're at a time now where you're not even 20.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. You just are the age. You're 16, you're 17. I'm going on 60 soon. And yeah, and a little bit older than you guys.
That's surprising.
And it's funny, guys, because you don't realize at your current age who you're going to be and how you're going to think when you get to a certain age,
Yeah.
right? Like I never thought about what it would be like to think about anything when I was my current age. When I was your age, it was just for me. I wasn't opening up my own businesses per se. Although I was an entrepreneur, I did do all kinds of things. I went shopping for elderly. I had multiple paper routes and so on and so forth. So I picked up jobs wherever I could, but it wasn't on the scale that you guys are. And so I just love your industriousness. I love your courage.
Thank you.
And I so regard that you're bringing that to the attention of young people. So I want to ask both of you a very interesting question.
Okay.
What message would you like to leave with young people will this be a magazine that is only online or can you physically pick it up?
You can physically pick it up too.
It's going to be online and paper.
Okay, got it. So what kind of message, Christian? A young man, young woman picks up your magazine. Let's say they're 18, 20, or younger.
Yeah.
What do you hope when they pick up that magazine? What message, what feeling do you hope they walk away with after reading it?
They're going to pick up the magazine. They're going to look at the front, the cover. They're going to see somebody either their age or younger. And they're going to be like, what? How did they do this? How did they get on the cover? Then they're going to get intrigued. They're going to open the magazine and they're going to see all these kids and young adults, teens, doing big things that they never saw possible. So they're going to see teenpreneurs. They're going to see a bunch of stuff about fitness, health, sports. They're going to see all these things. And when they look at it and they see that it's their age or a little bit younger, they're going to be like, wow, it is possible. It is possible to do this, to do that. It is possible to be successful at this age. I don't have to wait till I'm older. I don't have to wait till somebody tells me I can do it. I don't have to wait for the opportunity. I can make my own opportunity. When they open that, they're going to see that it's possible to be defiant, to be an outlier, because that's what makes it possible.
Ooh, I'm not sure. Shall we pause? I know we're on radio here, but I think we might need to pause for a second after that and just process that. Dekori,
Yes.
what do you want to say, my friend?
I would say they would feel inspired.
Yeah.
Like he said, they would open it, they see stuff they never thought it would be possible to do.
I love that. So, gentlemen, what kind of categories are we going to be looking at here? What topics do you want to discuss?
So in the magazine, there's going to be health and fitness,
Right.
led by Terrence, because
Of course.
Big dude.
Mr. Buff Man in the corner
Yes.
There's going to be entertainment. There's going to be sports. I'm leading that section.
I love it. I got it.
Fashion. What else?
Teen entrepreneurs. There's going to be inspirational sections or sections that talk about important topics. There's going to be like the latest fashion trends and stuff you should look out for, concerts, different things.
I've got a question for you guys.
Yes.
I'm going to throw this at you just because it might be a great idea. Have you thought about having a section, like maybe someone your age who's a great writer who addresses a lot of the real intense needs of young people, like where you discuss, what is it like to be bullied? What is it like to move into a new area and not know anybody and have to adjust and adapt? Would that be...
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? So in other words, you're going to be helping to discuss things that help young people thrive.
Yes.
And you talked about sports, and you talked about music and
also,
entertainment.
money matters too.
Oh, did you know what my show was last week, Dekori?
What?
So I got to share this with you, Dekori, okay? So last week I had a friend of mine who's been in finance for a lot of years. He's very, very successful. And I asked him a very specific question. I said, his name was Frank Kelly, and we were talking about how do you start having a conversation about handling money, getting money, managing your money.
It's very important.
It's very important. And we talked about...
Yeah, they don't teach it in school these days.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you. And, I feel let down that no one ever taught me that. Because here I am, in my 50s, and I'm sort of exploring it now. So what a great topic. I said to my friend Frank Kelly, who was on last Tuesday, I said, Frank, if you could go back in time, what would you tell me, your friend, about earning money, or maybe earning isn't even the right word, because we don't have to earn money.
Yeah.
We can invest.
Yes.
Right. We can invent. So that isn't per se earning, meaning we're not working a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And I said to him, what would you recommend me do? How would you start teaching me how to think about money? So how cool, guys, that you're going to have that. I think that's incredibly important.
Thank you.
Because money represents a freedom. I've had money and I've not had money. And I can tell you, life is a whole lot more fun when you have money,
with money,
right? And I'm a simple man. I don't need a lot per se, but it really is fun to say, hey guys, let's go out and eat and be able to eat where you want.
People say you don't need money to have happiness or something like that, but
it makes it easier, right?
It makes it way easier.
Yes, it does.
And
yes,
you
it
need to
does.
know how to make it when you're young, especially if you can't wait till you're a certain age to get a job. Create your own job.
Yeah, no question about it, guys. Absolutely no question. All right, so talk to me. What do you want? I know we talked about the topics. What do you want people to know about your magazine? What haven't we talked about?
We want you to know that it's gonna be awesome. Man, I'm trying not to get too hyped right now. I'm thinking about what I want to say, but I'm so excited in my mind. It's like
Well, Christian, I've got to say this. What I'm really excited for both of you is you have a market that's as big as the Pacific Ocean, right?
Yes.
You understand? I mean, like, I'm so old at this point, and I'm not old once again, but I am so old that I don't really remember that well what it's like to be 16.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest with you. Like 16, what was that? Was I learning how to drive? Yeah, I was learning how to drive. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's a lot of years ago for me, right?
Yeah.
So you guys know how to relate to people that are in their teens and their 20s and older, right? Way better than I could, right? I'm not equipped to write about it anymore. It was too long ago.
That's what
you guys are.
That's what a lot of teen magazines are right now. Like, it's adults
writing,
trying to say what kids should do.
Yeah, or even if it's just like the hottest celebrities, what they're doing. They're not showing what you need to do to get to that status.
No.
They still think Fortnite's a big huge thing.
Right.
Yeah, you know what's a big thing? Creating wealth, creating business.
And why is that for you specifically, Christian?
Why is it specifically for me? Because the way I grew up, I learned that, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with it, but I learned that it's better to be your own boss, make your own business, than to go to work, have to change your schedule. If you want to actually do something, you won't have to change your schedule to go in and work for somebody else. Be your own boss. Be defiant. So for me specifically, I think it's important to start a business because a business is what starts your career. It's what creates your impact on the world. So,
well, I'm going to make a comment about that. That's wonderful, by the way, and I agree with you. I am an entrepreneur. I have my own business as well. I think it's very important to get that about yourself. I don't think everybody can do that, but I love that you present it to everybody, because somebody is going to read it and say, you know what, I don't know. I don't know that I can be my own CEO.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe I can look at investing. In other words, perhaps we can expand our conversation so I can see things like, how do I invest so I can at least have money in 40 years that I wouldn't have? And once again, folks, we're not saying money's everything. But as I've said, having had money and having not had money, being so broke, I was so broke when I was in working on my doctorate. You might say, how broke were you? Here's how broke I was. I had so little money that I would live off of 2 ragu jars of pasta a day.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
2. I had one for breakfast.
That was from college?
That was when I was working on my doctorate. I ate one jar in the morning and 1 jar, and that's no lie, I promise you.
Wow.
You call my former wife right now and she'll say he's not lying. That's all he had when I met him.
Well, you did your thing, created your own business,
That's
and
right.
now look where you are.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you. So, Christian, once again, I'm going to start with you, and then we're going to go around to your brother.
All right.
What would you, because you guys are so refined, and you've thought so much, so far beyond where so many kids your age have. I mean, you're when I say typical kids, meaning you're not like I met child prodigies that I couldn't talk to.
Yeah.
You know, they were in front of a computer and they didn't know how to engage me in a conversation. You guys are very equipped to do that, and you're very good speakers and such. What would you tell a person your age to begin now to look at, how to think when they say to you, you know what, I really want to be successful in something, but I don't know how or what? What would you tell a person like that?
You know, actually, at this summer camp, Atlanta Music Project I'm going to, people were coming up to me. They were surprised when they actually found out what all I do, and they were like, "How do you do that? How do you manage your time, or how do you become so successful at this age? Or, you know, you're here. How are you still doing all this?" So what I would say is, find your priority. Find your priority. Manage your priority. And then surround yourself with people who can build off that priority.
Beautiful. So in other words, when you say a priority, it's like, here's my objective, so to speak.
Your dream.
This is my dream. I want to become an artist. I want to become an engineer.
Or even small-term goals. That'll get you to there.
Yeah. But so you brought up another really good point here, Christian. So in other words, you want to have a gradient perspective. So you can have, like, what do I want to achieve today?
Yes.
What do I want next week or next month? What do I want this year? And then where do I see myself in the years to come?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like there's 24 hours in a day. That's 24 things you can do to get closer to your dreams in a day.
Right. Good way to look at it.
So like any free time you have, do something instead of like sitting at home watching Netflix. So there's nothing all right with that. I mean, there's nothing bad with that, because I do it too sometimes.
Yeah.
But do something to build yourself in your free time.
So in other words, Netflix is cool if you do it because I need a break, because I'm humping it, I'm busting it,
I'm working so hard.
and I need a break for a minute here. But don't live in front of it.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, don't ask me how fast I watched Game of Thrones recently. Okay, Christian, that's going to be a secret. Dekori and I can talk about it, but it's going to be a secret from you.
That's funny.
I won't tell you that I did it in 2.5 weeks. You didn't hear that.
Oh, my goodness.
I've never done that before, folks. But I got into Game of Thrones, and in 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, it was done. Don't ask me how many episodes. You folks you've watched it, you know what I'm talking about here. But I double dare you, if you ever watch it, not to do the same.
I used to do that too with The Walking Dead.
Yeah, Walking Dead.
I'm doing that now.
When they first ended that first season.
Uh-oh, looks like we're going to come right back to you, but I think do we have a caller here? Yeah? Oh, okay, all right. So we're going to, Dekori, we got about a minute. We can come back and give you more time. What would you say to a young person? Remember the question?
No.
Oh, that's okay. No worries. We've got interrupted here. We got a caller that's on hold. We're going to take a commercial break here in a second. But so what would you tell a person? You have a friend that you meet that's struggling. They don't really know where they want to go. They don't know how they want to get there. What words of wisdom in 60 seconds, or 30 seconds, would you give them?
I'd say think long term.
Yes.
Okay, so you play the long game. All righty, folks. Once again, I'm Dr. Nelson Bulmash, You're listening to Health Matters on the UI Media Network. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Hi, I'm Tim Ray, founder of the United Intentions Foundation, where we offer resources and programs to help others awaken to the power of their intentions. One of the ways we get this great message out is through our UI Media Network, which is a platform for people to share their stories and wisdom on air on how they live a life with intent.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Kramer, and Tim and I united to create systematic change on a global scale. We realized that there were gaps in our educational system. Kids were going home every day being bullied, teen suicide was on the rise, and our Imaginative Education program helps students understand that they have the ability to create the world around them through their positive thoughts and inspired actions.
As we become adults, we often forget how our imagination creates the world around us every day, and how our intentions and our actions from that imagination determines what we experience.
Our goal as a foundation is to use the money raised to offer it free to kids, parents, adults, other communities, other nonprofit organizations, and teach them that they have the ability to create the world around them.
We are so grateful to this incredible cast of paradigm shifters who are authentically changing this world on a global scale.
Folks, we're winding it down. This is the last 15 minutes of my show, Health Matters, on the UI Media Network. Once again, to my right, I have Christian Robinson, and to my left, Dekori Robinson.
Yeah.
All right, guys, you know what? I'm going to throw something out at you guys. I know this is, I'm being interrupted here. We got a caller who wants to speak to us right now. Who's that? Who do we have? Hello?
Hi, this is Nikisa Garcia. Can you hear me?
Say your name again. I'm sorry. We were having some trouble hearing you.
This is Nikisa Garcia.
Hi.
Hey,
Good afternoon.
Auntie.
Hey,
Oh,
Auntie.
it's your auntie.
Yeah.
Okay, auntie. Thank you for calling in.
Hi. You are so welcome. I was actually just now joining in, but I would like to say thank you guys for actually coming out here and being entrepreneurs. So I do have a question for you.
Okay.
My question is, how are you going to try to transition and still stay humble to yourself while trying to make it out there in the real world as an entrepreneur or a teenpreneur?
I knew that question was going to be thrown in there by somebody. Christian, you want to get us started?
Well, the first step to staying humble while you do that is, like I said, with finding your elements. You have to find yourself, and then when you do that, you're going to build off your dream.
So you keep your perspective, in other words.
Yes.
And you have a lot of amazing people around you who are very successful who help keep you humble.
Yes.
Although I don't get the sense that you guys necessarily need a lot of that convincing. You seem like pretty humble, grounded guys. Am I right about this?
You got the
Yeah.
drive.
I'm not making anything up here, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. Corey, talk to
Also,
me.
I would say keep the same attitude. Don't switch up on people. No matter how much you blow up, stay down with the people that you came up with.
Absolutely. I love that. I love
Did
that, Corey.
that answer your question, Miss Nikisha?
It does. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much. Great hearing from you.
You're so welcome.
All right. Have a
All right,
great
thank
night. You bet.
Bye.
You bet. I love that, guy. So you're sweet. Ann called you? That's awesome. All right. I'm going to jump back in here to something, guys. And you know, nobody's really mentioned this, but I know you're up to so much.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take a chance here. I'm gonna guess you probably need some sponsors.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about here. What would be an ideal sponsor for you, gentlemen?
Well, a business, they can contact us because we need some sponsors for our magazine.
We are looking for teen and young adult models, actresses, entrepreneurs, businesses, anyone that wants to be featured or wants to stand out but can't or is trying to. This is your opportunity. So you can hit us up on all social media at Defiant Ones Mag. That's Defiant Ones Mag, or hit our website at defiantonesmag.com, and definitely hit our email at defiantonesmag@gmail.com.
Beautiful. So, guys, is there any amount of money that's too little? Or you're accepting anything that comes?
Accepting anything that comes. Anything that comes helps.
So listen, folks. Even if you have a few dollars, I love what these gentlemen are up to. I think they're gonna. I think getting the feel that I have for these gentlemen. I think they're gonna turn the whole conversation about what it is to be a teen and a young adult on its end, so to speak. And I mean that in a good way. Like, let's have conversations that move life forward.
Yes.
Guys, as a doctor, I hear about so many suicides. It's just heartbreaking. I mean, I heard about 2 more between yesterday and today.
Really?
Yeah. I never in my life have I heard of so many people taking their own lives. So this endeavor that you guys are undertaking means a great deal to me.
We're going to help them.
Yeah, because you're going to help them.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, would it be possible to have some part of the magazine that addresses the struggles of what it is
Most definitely.
to be a teenager and a young adult in a very healthy way?
It's very important.
Because one of the things you gentlemen are going to learn as you get older, I can tell you're wise young men, is you never know what you say today and how it helps somebody that you may never, ever know
Yes.
tomorrow.
Mhm.
Right?
Definitely.
I can't tell you how many people have said, Dr. Nelson, I heard you speak and you said something that landed in my world in a way that changed my life.
Yeah.
And I've had people say I didn't kill myself because you said something that turned my life around, or you at least got my attention.
You never know who's listening.
You never know who's listening.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That's spectacular. Goodness, guys, we're down to about 8 minutes. I need to know, Dekori, what are you thinking about? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I want to give a shout out to my cousin.
Okay.
My favorite cousin, Jayla Lewis.
Jayla Lewis, are you listening?
That was my aunt. That's her daughter too.
Oh, that's her daughter. Oh, okay. Well, I hope she's listening. You guys have been fantastic. What do you want to tell her?
Well, I want to tell her, hope you got that article, because she's gonna be featured in the magazine. She's doing things that make you think and get you ready for college.
Oh.
Because she's actually about to go off to college too.
I love it. My mother and father used to say you can change almost all things through education.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Georgia State.
Oh, is that where you're going to go to Georgia State?
No, she's going to Georgia State.
She is. Where are you headed?
I'm thinking about KSU.
Okay,
honestly.
it's a great. Hey, KSU is the only school I can think of off the top of my head. All the professors, not most, all the professors that I've interviewed have said how much they love teaching there. And all the students that I've ever met love being there.
Awesome.
It's the only school I can say that about. I always have and I'm not picking on you, Georgia Tech fans. I'm not picking on you. Don't call me and be nasty. I'm just saying that every time I talk to you folks, guys, what do you think of Georgia Tech? I'm getting a very good education. I know that, but what do you think about it? I maintain that I'm getting an excellent education. Okay. Do you have fun while you're getting that incredible education? I am getting a very good education. Okay, all right, I got it. You're getting a very good education. I'm not picking on you. I just want to make sure you folks are having a good time growing, learning, and enjoying your young lives in addition to getting that great education.
Mm-hmm.
Christian, talk to me. What do you want to talk about?
Well, actually, I never really got into depth about what my name Kind of Fi means, so I want to go into depth about that.
Talk about it.
All right. So, the name Kind of Fi, when I was growing up, kids used to call me Fi. Kids used to say, "Man, you're Fi," because it was like fire, but people were using slang, "You Fi." So I didn't take that so well because I used to get bullied, so I used to think it was a bad thing. But when I realized what it could actually mean, I realized that it meant I could be Fi, like I could find myself. So Kind of Fi. I'm only Kind of Fi right now, and that's my name. I'm only Kind of Fi right now because I haven't fully found myself. I don't believe anyone can truly find themselves until they accomplish their goals. So once I grow old and like left my impact on a million people's minds, then I can say I'm Fi. Once I left my legacy, then I am Fi. I will accept that. Right now, I'm still finding myself, and I encourage you to too.
I'm going to let you know a secret, my wise friend. You will be till the day they put you in a box. I mean that in a good way. Meaning, Muhammad Ali had an amazing quote, and forgive me, I'm not great on getting the quotes word for word necessarily, but he said, the man that does not change the way he thinks in 30 years basically doesn't think. Meaning, you gentlemen are so out of the box. you're going to constantly change, and don't ever think there's anything wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Your beliefs of today may be altered significantly tomorrow. I don't mean that in a good way or a bad way.
Yeah.
It's just you guys are processing a huge amount of information very quickly. We live in a very fast-paced world, and what you think may be so today may not be quite what you think it is tomorrow.
As you grow up,
that's right.
You start thinking totally different than you did.
Well, you have more experiences.
Yeah.
So, all right, you good with that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Talk to me, my friend to the left. What do you want to say?
Well, I want to say, shout out to everybody watching right now. It takes a lot to listen to a whole interview and not change the channel, just listen to music. You're actually getting quality talks right now. Yeah. That you need to hear.
Only thing that'll be more quality is when you read it in the magazine. Learn more.
June.
Listen to him. Listen to him.
July 15th. Remember, it's coming out July 15th.
Yeah. Hey, listen, folks. And then I've got a few words myself.
All right.
And we'll close up. What they're up to is really amazing. I want to share something with you. My daughter was at I think it was a racetrack, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And up where we live, there's nothing for young people who are less than 21. If you're in that awkward age of 18 to just before you turn 21.
It used to just be 18, man. I couldn't wait to be 18. Then they changed it again.
Yeah, then it changed it to 21.
Right before I got there.
Well, so, my daughter a number of times has been up here, and the gentleman who owns the racetrack said, Dr. Nelson, I have no problem with these people being here. They're wonderful young kids. They don't create a problem. They buy a lot from me. They're not just loitering. I like that they're here. It makes it look like we're busy. I have no problem. But some of the police officers up north of us in Alpharetta have a real some don't, some do. And gosh, they've been spoken to very rudely by some officers. And I'm not, guys, no hate mail here. You know who you are. If you've been rude, you've been rude. And I've spoken to my daughter, who's amazing. You guys would be brilliant friends. She's remarkably bright and an outlier herself.
Definitely want to meet her.
Yeah, very, very, very bright. Matter of fact, might be an interesting source for you to collaborate with.
Mm-hmm.
And she came home and she was upset one night. I said, "Sweetheart, what's the matter?" She said, "Dad, I'm 19. I can't go into a club. I'm not interested in drinking. I'm not interested in causing a problem. I'm not interested in breaking any laws." We go up to this gas station. And we talk. They have a huge parking lot. The owner is very nice. He likes us to be there. We spend a lot of money there. And some of these police officers come and they're just really nasty to us. So, folks, let's create a world of possibility here. These young men are creating a magazine that will give all kinds of great information about what it is to be a young adult and a teenager.
Yes.
And here's the deal. I wasn't kidding. I'm not old. But I'm old enough that I don't really remember necessarily that well what it's like to be their age. And so how unbelievable is it that these two young men are entrepreneurs in their teens and are creating a vehicle for communication, a vehicle for inspiration that young people can go to and can get access to opinions that will help shift their lives. Ideas about finances, sports, entertainment, all things good. Help them out. Reach out to them, guys. Tell them real quickly, how can they get a hold of you?
All right, you can find me on social media. This is Christian. You can find me on social media at Kindafye, KINDAFYE.
You can find me on social media, Instagram at Dekori _ DEKORI_.
Watch out for Defiant Ones Teen Magazine, Defiant Ones. And
you could actually follow our magazine too, at Defiant Ones Mag. On Instagram, all social media.
Help them out, guys. Remember, no amount of money is too small. Anything you do to help them will help the kids and the young adults of our time. Join me, my friends, next Tuesday at 5 p.m. I have an outstanding guest. We're going to be talking anti-aging in a big way, one of the leading authorities in the world. I will see you next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Health Matters.
Peace.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of Health Matters with Dr. Nelson Bulmash, where we help you discover how to ignite your mind, body, and spirit connection. Join us next time when we will bring you more exciting guests and engaging topics. Meanwhile, feed your mind, exercise your body, and nurture your spirit. the United Intentions Foundation and its associates take no responsibility for the opinions and statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests.
Hi there, I'm Dr.